We are back in Florida with it again, where we have these two knuckleheads whose names are Frank Gillard Allison, who was on the left, and William Joseph Hale, who was on the right, who got into a road rage incident. Again, yet another road rage incident. Yeah, I keep telling y'all, when it comes to these road rage incidents, it usually looks like them too. But what makes this road rage a little bit different from the others that I've talked about is that there were almost two casualties from this. And both of the casualties have a link to each individual man. So in the midst of them getting into the shootout with each other during a road rage incident, in which I have no clue on which it's about because I'm only giving you a little summary of the story so far before we get into it, both of them had their daughters with them. One daughter is 5 and the other is 14. In the midst of this shootout between these two idiots, both of their daughters were caught in the crossfire and shot. One was shot in the leg and one was shot in the back. Now, what's scary about the one that was shot in the back is stating that she suffered a collapsed lung behind that. Basically, the bullet punctured her lung and she had to go. Of course, they both went to the hospital, but she definitely needed immediate medical care or attention to hopefully save her lung, to, hopefully not get any further damage. I have no clue what will make it get to this point, but we know who's not talking about it, but we know who's about to talk about it. So let's get into it. Two Florida men are each facing attempted murder charges after they allegedly shot at each other's daughters during a road rage incident Saturday night. William Joseph Hale, age 35, and Frank Gillard Allison, age 43, were both arrested after a cat and mouse high-speed chase on Highway 1 in Nassau County, Florida. The two men began arguing with each other on the road while driving aggressively and brake checking each other. Things got so tense, a witness told Nassau County Sheriff's deputies that he knew something bad was going to happen. They were both speeding and driving recklessly northbound in Jacksonville and then into Nassau County on US 1, brake checking and trying to cut each other off, Nassau County Sheriff Bill Leeper told Newsweek. That's usually a telltale sign that something is really, that a road rage incident is about to happen when people do that. And when people start to do that, I try my best to get as far away from them, like probably get into another lane that's clear and speed right past them, because one wrong move and that'll end up affecting the cars that's behind them. It says they were both speeding and driving recklessly northbound in Jacksonville and then into Nassau County on US 1, brake checking and trying to cut each other off. They obviously didn't like the way the other one was driving, so they were both acting like idiots. Leeper told Law and Crime that at some point during the encounter, Hale, who was driving a Dodge Ram, drove up alongside Allison's Nissan and began shouting at him to pull over. That's when the front passenger of the Nissan put her hand out the window and flipped the other vehicle off with her middle finger. As Allison rolled his window down to shout at Hale, someone from the Dodge Ram threw a plastic water bottle into his car. The driver of the Nissan, who was Allison, then grabbed his 6-SAR 45 caliber automatic handgun and fired one shot at the other truck before driving away at a high rate of speed, according to Leeper. The bullet entered the right rear passenger door of Hale's Dodge Ram and struck his 5-year-old daughter in the leg. After Hale realized his daughter had been shot, he sped up to the Nissan and using his Glock 9mm semi-automatic handgun began firing at Allison's car. 3 of Hale's bullets struck Allison's car, one hitting his 14-year-old in the back, causing a collapsed lung. After the second child was shot, Hale and Allison spotted a NCSO patrol car, pulled over, and argued face-to-face until the deputy broke up the scuffle. I'm sitting here saying to myself, both of you have daughters that have been shot by each of you, and y'all want to pull over to get into a scuffle with each other in front of an NCSO officer. I mean, where are the priorities here? Like, and one of them got shot in the back. Like, y'all should be worrying about trying to get them to the hospital. But it's crazy how something that was so minuscule or could have been like resolved more easily led to this. And I'm very sure they are being criminally charged, because there were injuries here, and one of them could have been a death-defying injury. Fire and rescue units took both girls to a local hospital where they were treated with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Allison and Hale were booked into the Nassau County Jail on charges of felony attempted murder because they were trying to take each other out. Officers concluded in each of the arrest reports their act was eminently dangerous and demonstrated a depraved mind without regard for human life, basically talking about their daughters. Both men are out on bail. They shouldn't even have a bail, honestly. And I wonder how much their bail was, considering that they both are out now. It couldn't have been that damn high. But that's crazy. Like I said, I've talked about road rage incidents before, but this has probably got to be one of the worst ones I have ever read or discussed with y'all in my life. If y'all live in Florida, can y'all tell me or let me know if y'all heard about this? Because usually, if something happens in one particular county or city, it'll stay local depending on how severe it is. But this is pretty damn bizarre. And it almost played out like a Hollywood movie. Like them driving alongside each other, shooting at each other in the car. Someone gets shot. They drive past them and shoot into their car. Someone gets shot. Then they pull over and then they get into a fight. That is the wildest thing. Like, if y'all told me this, I'm almost wanting to hear like some like that spaghetti western music, seeing the tumbleweed go across the dirt road and seeing the two men walk out ready to do the whole guns a-blazing thing. Like, that's what it this is crazy. This is crazy. But they say we have the problem. They love to say black people are these type of criminals and this type of criminal. I need to know what lamestream media and them bootlicking bimbos and sambos got to say about this, if they say anything at all. And again, it happened in Florida. I swear Florida just cannot stay off of my videos, and I partially hold my subscribers responsible for that, because y'all love to send me stuff coming out of Florida, but then at the same time, Florida it's a cesspool. Look at who's the governor. That tells you all you need to know right there. Sorry about that. I had a call come in. But yeah, these two right here are complete idiots. I don't know what's going to happen with their daughters. I hope that they come from a two-parent home where hopefully their mothers are much more suited to deal with them. Because these two right here, I wouldn't have them raising an ant farm. Like, that is crazy. That they let that get the best of them to the point where they got into it and shot at each other and ended up shooting each other's child. And I think the thing that pisses me off the most is the fact that they pulled over once they finally caught up with each other and were done shooting and decided to fight right there in the street, while their daughters are bleeding out in the car. One of them got hit in the lungs. Shows where their priorities were not at. It wasn't on their kids. It was going at each other. But I'm sure, they'll definitely be back in court again, face to face. Again, they better hope that nothing pops off in that courtroom. And if it does, let me know, because I definitely would want to talk about that.